Hello there, that was a bit of a rigs off. If you're watching the live stream, you would have known what bombshell I just threw down.
Just threw a really strong argument at me for the chipping of the kids, but we'll move on. We're not talking about chip.
It's an interesting conversation, though.
No, it is. I think Richie is on the no side.
Yeah, I'm on the no side.
Just the same, you know. I think it's almost invasive enough giving your like 5 or 6 year olds like cell phones. I mean, the amount of young kids that have cell phones these days. I'm like, there has to be some sort of like, you know, part of childhood where you actually do learn skills of surviving as well.
I really notice. I really notice people that spend a lot of time interfacing with others, like on the computer and texting, and how awkward they interrelate with other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know people like that who sort of like all the human interaction is, I don't know, it's always moderated by a device.
Yeah, I think there are also some people like me who I don't like talking to people anyway, but I just use the phone as like a...
The world's most introspective comedian.
Yeah, no, like, do you know how many times I was waiting outside the 48-hour grand final for these guys, and like, I was just typing the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog on the phone over and over, just to look like I was doing something.
Just to avoid any other human interaction.
It was so horrible.
And man, say you did a good job last night, giving out awards and stuff.
Thank you so much. The award was like perspex glass, and I got all these fingerprints over it.
They can polish it up.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we're talking...
Before we go any further...
How dare you interrupt?
My time. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man.
Congratulations, Richie.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Am I right in thinking it was your first boxing match?
Yeah, it was my first pro boxing fight.
Because you've done kickboxing, you've done Muay Thai.
So I fought mixed martial arts in Japan professionally, and I fought. My main sport is Muay Thai, Thai boxing. I've done that for like 15 years. Yeah. And then I thought, well, let's do the third. Let's have a pro boxing fight so I can say I've done it all.
And you had a points decision.
I got a little shiner there.
Got a shiner?
Yeah.
No, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I had a really good team of trainers and training partners around me. My friend Stephen Hidemeyer won a professional boxing title that night.
Oh my goodness.
Put him in good rankings. He won by first round knockout. So.
Are you going to continue doing it?
Boxing, I'll probably have another boxing fight. I really enjoyed it. And
is it a bit more? Is it a bit more cutthroat than Muay Thai?
No, not really. Like, it doesn't hurt as much.
Right.
Like in Muay Thai, you're allowed to elbow each other and knee each other and kick each other.
That is quite brutal.
And that hurts.
Quite rude.
Quite brutal.
It's a little bit rude.
Yeah, it's quite rude and polite.
It's kind of weird to explain. Like, boxing, I think, is worse for you. Like, just because you just get punched in the head all the time. And like, no, seriously though.
That must be...
But it doesn't hurt. Like, because of the adrenaline. Okay, you get punched in the face, like, you're like, ha! But I've fought rules where you like to headbutt each other. And I've fought rules where you like to elbow each other. That hurts. When someone elbows you in the head and like your spleen splits open, you need some stitches, you're like... Oh, yeah, notice that one. But technically, it looks bad, but it's not as bad for you, like, neurologically.
Right. Interesting.
Speaking of boxing, 2 of my friends are off to the Olympics on Wednesday. Just let me shout out Alexis Pritchard and Sienna Fernandez. They're off to the London Olympics 2012. First time boxing for women's been in the Olympics.
Hey, that's that was actually something I read in the paper today about this boxing match, upcoming boxing match with the undercard, Jamie Ridge and that girl from the GC. And these
she must hate being called that girl from GC. What is her name?
Rose Arkle or something. I don't know. And she, he's just people are just like, there are so many female boxers who would love to get on that fight. And like it's just like it's just making the kind of a bit of a mockery of the whole sport.
I know how much those girls are getting paid to do that in bikinis, and I'm like, that really hurts. I've been fighting for 19 years, and I've never ever close to having a payday like that. You know?
It's such a bummer that has to be a representation of like
female boxing.
Yeah, well, it's not really, but
yeah. Well, they are fighting and they are training, and good on them, and I fully respect that, and I'm not taking anything away from that. I just wish it wasn't in bikinis.
Yeah, don't wear bikinis.
You know, like,
it's just
like, why can't women box for boxing sake?
I can hardly walk in a bikini, let alone fight in a bikini. I don't wear bikinis. Why am I even saying that?
We have been royally sidetracked here, though.
It's
a good thing.
It is sidetracked.
I'm all for it.
I was building up to a segue about, you know, people who interact through, you know, devices. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was social media today. This is actually how I come to be here. Matt put something up on Twitter one time. He's like, who would you like to see on Ulive? And I was like, I'll do it. if you want to hear about being healthy and boring stuff. But anyway, here I am.
Yeah, man.
Months
Positive
later.
vibes.
There's two parts that I thought we could break this into. I think social media is super powerful for developing people's political consciousness, and there's lots of real-life events in recent history which have shown that. So think Arab Spring. Are you familiar with that?
Not particularly.
Okay, so there's a wave of democratic or pseudo-democratic revolutions that happened in the Middle East. So in Tunisia, 2010, Egypt, 2011. Then you had the uprising in Libya, and etc., etc. Yeah. And especially in Tunisia and Egypt, social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, played a massive role in galvanizing the population. So you get an idea and you spread by wildfire. Yeah. So obviously that doesn't take, nothing takes place change-wise just by tweeting about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it is the internet. Yeah. But at the same time, if, you know, 1 million people are like, let's protest at Tahrir Square, which is a place in Egypt, and they turn up, then that's super, super galvanizing. Yeah. And then Adbusters, which is a magazine which I've followed for a long time. It's like anti-advertising, anti-capitalist. It's Adbusters, you know. It's a great magazine. I really recommend you pick it up if you want an insight into, you know, alternative ideas. Yeah. It was really formative to me when I was a lot younger. Anyway, they picked up this whole, wow, look at social media and what it's done. And then you get, and they talk about it, and you get the Occupy movement. Yep. You know, again, that's super social media orientated. You know, just being able to organise and organise groups together, like even just the logistics of actually getting people together. And the thing about Occupy is it became worldwide. Yeah, absolutely. There was a few people camping out in New York, and then boom, we have it in Tahrir Square. It's kind of like with the social media thing. I look at it like this: it's like you get some guy on a platform that's got something really good to say. Yeah. He can yell it out. It's going to do a little bit. He can get a loudspeaker. It's going to do a little bit more. Yeah. But imagine you get that guy on one speaker yelling out to another guy on another platform, who's then yelling out to a whole bunch of people. Did you see? Did you see Tom Scott from Homebrew on 2020 the other day? No, I didn't. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, okay. So they did a really great piece on Homebrew, and like, I'm a big fan of Homebrew, even though we have very different lifestyles. Yeah. But I think they make fantastic music, and it's really honest, and I think it's really important. Anyway, Tom was talking about how, you know, music is so great for him because it gives him a platform to express, you know, a lot of his music is quite politically orientated. Absolutely. Like that track, Listen to Us. But then that goes on social media and that gets amplified. It goes, you know, not everyone's going to pick up the CD or even listen to the song, but they might click the YouTube link if it's on Facebook or your mate puts it on Twitter or whatnot. You know? I think it's funny, it's like, even as well as the flip side, when parts of social media are censored. Yeah. And heaps of countries, really. That's the kind of, it's almost like taking away a human right. Like, I know that access to the internet is one of like the kind of, I think there's wanting to I fully agree with you. I mean, you look at, I've had friends who've gone and fought in China lately for Thai boxing and stuff. Can't use the Facebook over there because the authorities are well aware of what's happened internationally with those spread of ideas and that spread of passion and like that use of those social media tools, organizations. Same thing in Syria. Syria right now is really torn in a civil conflict and they're on lockdown. Crazy. You know, you can't use social media devices and the internet really because of how aware the authorities are for its potential for positive change. So I think if we as communities utilize social media, I've really noticed how much anti-national party stuff is emerging now. Now, I had a guy the other day go, I'm sorry I voted National on my Facebook page. And, you know, like, if you voted National, it's not a personal thing I'm talking about. I'm just talking about my political ideology. I think it's harmful for the majority of people, a lot of the policies that are going through right now, and you can agree or disagree with that, but the internet and using social media is a really great way to share political ideas. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. So it's cool to use it to, you know, sure, talk about your band and sell your products and, just, you know, get likes, you know, like do silly stuff and talk about frivolous things and talk about, you know, it doesn't have to be serious all the time, but if you're out there and you've got like, oh wow, I saw this fantastic news media article, or have you thought about whatever academic that you're into, or something you read at uni, or a great political song that you talked about, share that and share that and share that, and then you can work to like make a real difference in your community.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of food for thought there.
Some people were sitting there like, is he speaking Klingon? I don't know what he's talking about.
Well,
doesn't he just hit people?
We might go to a bit of Prima Donna, Marina of the Diamonds, and after that, maybe talk about the more, obviously, social aspect of social media.
Yeah, let's do that.
And on a personal level.
Personal level.
We'll see after this.